there it is, St. Anthony Seminary in July of the year 2000. We're just checking it out. Back one more time. There's the good old study hall over there. And now we're back to the entrance here. We're going to zoom right in on this pillar. And there it is. 1899. With the first class coming in 1900. So it's 100 years old this day. And now we're finally going to have a look maybe inside the study hall that I haven't been in for many, many, many years. So we're going to give that a try and go around the corner. It's a beautiful day in July in Santa Barbara. Now we're approaching from the other side. We're going to go in where we used to run in here after showering and get in here for come in here for our study hall in the afternoon. And this is the interior. The proscenium arch. This is where we used to study. Windows have protection on now because it's used as a gymnasium. There's the back door. Or the front door, I guess, depending on how you want to call it. We pan around. There it is. We put many plays on in this room. Many plays, many good times. And this is what was the junior and senior dorm when I went here many years ago in the 60s. We're going to go inside here and see what's inside here. Hi. There's the old stairs that we used to take up to the dorm. Going to the dorm was right up around there. This was the junior dorm. At that time, this was the locker room in here. Now it's like an art room here. Okay, let's see if I'm going to go up the stairs to my junior dorm here. Of course, we got the computers nowadays. Looking good. This was the senior dorm in here at one time. You've seen this room. And then this over here was the junior dorm. They made it into classrooms. Okay, so we're leaving the junior dormitory now, and there's the last look at the old sink is still here next to the 2000 computer. I mean a water fountain, yes. And there's the old hallway one. And now here's the chapel, built in the 1920s of reinforced concrete, so it wouldn't fall. It was built after the big earthquake of 1925. There's all, you can see the pieces of wood impressed in the concrete that they use for the forms. Okay, and here's the front again. I'm up on the sidewalk now, and we're approaching the front door of the chapel, Christ the King Chapel. It's about 75 degrees today on this July 19th. Let's see if the doors are open here. Nope, they're locked, so we'll have to visit the chapel later. If you're good at Roman numerals, here's the cornerstone for the chapel. And this is the back side of the junior dorm. Go down to the casa. Zoom in on that. And that was sold last year in 1999 to a family. It used to be the library. It was sold for $2 million to help keep the seminary grounds up, I suppose. And then we're going to pan over here to the canyon. And this is where back in 1964 there was a terrible fire in this canyon. And that's Mount La Cumbre in the background there. I'm not sure of the elevation of Mount La Cumbre. And before I forget, this is the well-worn, weathered back of the study hall and auditorium. And there's another little connection between the two buildings. And now we're back to the back of the far side of the seminary grounds, looking down where the chapel walls are. And then we pan back over here and see more of the canyon. And that little piece of white that you can see is it's the Natural History Museum down there. And we had this big sidewalk in the back, or patio type area too. And this is the hallway on the other side of the chapel, the inner side. Then it comes to Christ the King courtyard. Here we walk down this hallway from this other side of the study hall. And we have Christ the King courtyard with the same ancient tree here that has been here for many years. And then down at the end over there was the biology lab. So we'll just walk down that way. And here's the statue of Christ the King, carved by Father Nevin Ford around 1966. This is all the inner courtyard here. Another connection there between the study hall and the classrooms and the rest of the school. Just a few photos were taken in this area up at this tower. Like probably 14 million right there of the old tower. Look at that concrete. And again to the study hall area of Father Severin's lab, the biology area. Right in there. And here's that entrance to the dungeon where the bad boys used to have to go. Just kidding. Just went down through downstairs to get to the other side. And there's the entrance to Father Severin's lab. Used to have biology lab there. Let's swing around the corner and we'll see that gate one more time. There it is. And there's the door to the administration office. And we knew if we got called in there, we did some bad problems, like maybe chewing gum or something like that here. And then of course down here was the tunnel, and it's probably locked, but we'll check it out and see. see what's down here. Yep, there's a door there. Let's see if we can get in or not. Not.
Tree.
No, we just stood there. Here's the sophomore class palm tree. We used to stand there on that morning break or 4 o'clock lunch or whatever. That was our favorite. We'll get pan across the front here and the big playing field. This was the front lawn. There's the white building is the refectory. And again, there's the freshman dorm at the top. And then we had over here all the big playing field. Baseball, softball, football, all those kind of sports, track and field. And we're back to the front, St. Anthony's Seminary. And soon we'll be going inside some of the other buildings, hopefully. There's just a little pan, and we're going to go see the back of the old mission. You can see some of the towers there in the background. Just kind of zoom in on that a little bit. There's one of the towers. That's just old mission grounds over there. And we're back. Went up in that tower just a few times, and we might go up there again today. And here's the refectory building, little corridor there. There's the refectory building, and here it is from another angle, the good old refectory. Used to have the bums would come to the back over there and stand in line for some chow, along with us boys. Only we came right inside, they waited at the kitchen door. And this room right here, this door was the fill-in. You could go in there and have a 5-cent ice cream cone. Quite a place. And here's another statue that Father Nevin made, St. Francis, or it might be St. Anthony. Don't know for sure which one. Here's another shot of the refectory from the other side. Used to walk right around this path to go up these stairs here on the other side of the tree. There they are right there. Of course, up there was the sophomore dormitories up on that top room there. And there's Cecile. And there's the kitchen door. This is where the bums used to line up to get a little bit of lunch. They knew where the food was in Santa Barbara. And here's the back of the chapel. And right in there was the infirmary, dispensary, and infirmary area. Okay, here's the old basketball, tennis, and volleyball courts that we used quite a bit. Really had fun here, that's for sure. There they are, this side of the refectory. And we're back on this side again. Just looking up the back side here, and the tower from the back side. And then this is the Our Lady's Grotto area. We'll take a look here. We would often come here, say the rosary. Sometimes we would have some class pictures taken in front of this statue. Just a time for devotion to Mary. And I believe this was made by some of the students here in the 30s. But I'm not positive on that. And we can turn around here. This is the end of the grotto. Turn all the way around 180 degrees and we see down the canyon. And we could go down this canyon, go down the path here on Wednesday afternoons, Saturday afternoons, and hike down here to the museum that was in the back here, Museum of Natural History. And there's quite a creek went back here also. Okay, here we go up the stairs to the refectory. 3 times a day used to do this. Sometimes more. If you're on table setting duty or something like that, remember. And in the front door we go. I really like these cameras with the side things now.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Mine is old.
Hi, we're coming in. And we're being filmed.
Oh, great.
There we go.
Hi.
Hi,
All right.
Dave Johnson.
Oh, Dave.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
You're on camera.
Great. Oh, you got some nice things. We got
All right, here we are.
Yeah.
Over at the,
We'll continue.
oh, you continue to
Yeah.
gather, do stuff?
What we'll do actually is Sunday after lunch, I'll get together with everyone who's staying over and ask them now.
Do a little
what do you
walking
want to
tour
do?
here.
You know, afternoon tree, go around 10 o'clock.
Didn't have the white curtains back then, of course. They're using it for other things now.
Or tomorrow morning, you can take the hike up.
But we're going to go take a little visit to the old dishwashing room here. See what's in it nowadays. Not much. Not used for dishes anymore, as you can see. There's one of the washers. And here's one of the washers here. Those of us on dish shift, if you ever had dish shift, would stay over, of course, and do the washing. Some of the racks. This was the window where we could look out and see a little bit of life going on while we're stuck doing the dishes. Wow, what a place. Now it's just kind of used for storage, I guess, is the way it looks. Now we're going to go over to the kitchen, and unfortunately it's not used much anymore either. This is the rest of the refectory. That's where the prefect would stand, or sit rather. Now we're going to have our meeting here, so we set the chairs up. We'll go back to the front door look.
Wow, you didn't forget, huh?
And this is the side door. And we could go up here if we wanted to what was the sophomore dorm at that time for us. So we just walk up these stairs. Now it's part of the school that they rent out to. And they made them in the classrooms. But through these doors were dormitories. Now they made them into classrooms. Yep. That was the prefect's room there. And there's the old drinking fountain from this one. A lot of old drinking fountains around. Or you could go down the stairs. This is again from the refectory door. Instead of going up, you could go down and you would get to the tunnel that would Waldorf school that's renting it out. There's a freshman rec room down here. But then beyond this door and this gate, you could go through and we'll see if maybe we can do that later. Or you could walk through and they would have the laundry room and everything down through this tunnel here. It's quite a place. There it is, the old tunnel. And you could turn this way if you wanted to. And this is like a little inner courtyard here. People doing some sweeping up here. Like a little inner courtyard area. We'll pass through that way. Could pass through that way. Could pass through that way. Or you could go back from whence you came. Or you could go up that way. I'm doing the full tour. All my secret passages now revealed.
Here, can I use this one for that? This is thin.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and go through this way into the inner courtyard. Inner courtyard here. We look up here and there's the freshman dorm fire escape. And we would have to paint that every year to keep it up. And let's see what else was down here. Those were music rooms on the second level. And the third level was the cloister for the priests, and the top level was the freshman dorm. That was the corridor going to it. And then down here was more priest area, and they had down here what was called the Sarah press that printed the Antonian. And I don't know what is down here these days. And we're back up in the refectory, and this door here led to the administrative offices from this side. And as boys, we were never allowed in here. This was strictly for the priests and faculty, the brothers. There's a view of the field again, parking lot area. Guys getting ready down there from the class of 71. There's a little plaque of St. Anthony, San Antonio, and this would lead to the administrative building. I don't know if it's open now. It is open. And this part was strictly cloister in here. You walk through here, the same smell, same scent. There's an old picture there of the boys back from years gone by. Probably in the 30s, around 35 it looks like. This was the staircase that would go up into the priest's area, to the cloister. And this was the corridor of the rector's office and things like that. In fact, this door still says rector on it right there.
So they put on my appraisal problem, didn't see that grade ever in.
There's one of the seminary.
So unfortunately, my poor kids inherited that from me, Tracy, one of them. No, I know, but,
It's a good picture.
but I feel sorry for them when I see it happen.
A good picture.
A little flag. Yeah. No, well, actually, a lot of people I work for, that are bringing things up, they're the same with recommending for promotion, because they knew I was honest and was trying to do it right. So, it's not over.
through that
Yeah, I would do
administrative
that.
corridor.
Okay, thanks. All right, bye. Sure, you too.
Same old tile on the floor. Same old echo to the hallway. This is the front door. Always seemed like that door was open. That was a little visiting room. The parents would come and discuss the kids' situation. There's a nice painting. I'm not sure how this is all going to turn out. It's pretty dark in here. That's the other end. This staircase here went up to the freshman dorm and to the cloister area as well. And then this is the door that we were at a while ago on the other side, earlier in the tape. And that's the study hall area, right there. And that's the, what do you call it? That sound is the, what am I thinking of? The lens cap. So now we've seen the administrative building. We'll just swing around here real quick. See it from this end. And there she be. Now we're back on the other end again. I forgot to show you this corridor, which would have been the priest's corridor. This was forbidden area for students. We'd often see the priest walking through this area. So we're upstairs now a little bit. They would go through here to get to their rooms. And that's that courtyard again on that side. And the smaller area on this side. Refectory right there. And then they would go in here. And I can't get in there today. I've yet to be in there ever, so anyway, that's the way it goes. Okay, we are back outside. Back outside, and here is the front. We're going to walk down to the grass area and take the full front. This, of course, is the big field area where we did everything from softball, baseball, track, all of that. I think I mentioned that before. I just thought I'd take a walk down here and see it. There's one of the backstops there, one of the surviving backstops, I should say. Quite an expanse, nice green grass this year. Of course, there's a sign of today with the, what do you call it, soccer goal. Now we're going to take a look at the full front here. Okay, here's the full front. Refectory right there. And we pan across the main building. Zoom in on the tower, which hopefully we'll take some shots from later. And then we go over here to the study hall area, and the building beyond was the junior dormitory building. And there's the front of the study hall and the junior dormitory building. Those trees are new there. It's now a parking lot for the school that they rent out to on this side of campus. And so back then it was volleyball and basketball courts. And that building there is a little piece of the casa, which was the library when I was here. And I'll see if I can get a little close up on that in just a second here. This building here was the oh, it's a garage, but we used it for all kinds of things. We made things for track day. We made our big night there for the junior banquet that we put on for the senior class. And again, just the expansive field that we had here. Track. So many fun times here. Those days are long gone, but the spirit lives on. And here's another angle of the study hall in the classroom building up there. Junior dorm. We're going to pan over here to the casa, which in those days was the library, believe it or not. A building that just sold for $2 million in Santa Barbara. There's an outhouse. I don't know what that's doing there. Just some of the grounds leading down. Some of the beautiful gardens that were here. And the road that went out from this direction, from this side. And now we're looking at some of the Stations of the Cross that Father Nevin Ford actually made with mosaic and put up during the time that I was here in the 60s. And this is actually the second station where Jesus takes up his cross. And these are all out along the roadway. And this is the famous path here where Father Nevin also built a brick wall that just became known as the Wall at the time. And often if you got in trouble for whatever reason, chewing gum or something terrible like that, we had to help him build the wall. And it was built as kind of a containment wall for this berm out here by the street. And here's another one of the stations. And here, this is Veronica, wipes the face of Jesus on the way of the cross. And here's another one. Jesus dies on the cross. We would often come out here as students or as a student body and go through the Stations of the Cross. And here is the piece of wall that remains yet today. You can see the brick, or not brick, but rock embankment that was built here. All by Father Nevin and the students. You can see the top of the tower just over the embankment there. Yep. And yes, I did put a brick or two or a stone or two in this wall around 64, 65, 66 era. And here we are at the furthest backstop out, where we would play softball. You can see the distance. We had to then walk back to the dormitory, take our shower and run to study hall or to dinner, whatever it may have been at the time. Quite a place. Quite a place for a good education. And here's the date on the refectory building. It was built in 1949, if that's visible. I'm not sure that's going to be visible. There you go. And this is the stairway from the other side at the front of the refectory. Okay, here real quickly is the door. Right. Okay, we're going in the fill-in, even though it is totally different. This is still the door right here.
They made a school out of this.
They made this into a school.
Oh,
Hi, that's okay.
yes, they did.
You can narrate, that's fine.
Come right this way.
We used to have a little soda fountain like down here. Now it's a darkened hallway of the Waldorf School. We're gonna take a look at the locker room.
Yeah, they were very
What did
good.
this used to be?
This used to be the locker room,
locker room.
below the refectory.
And they made it into a nice classroom now.
It's a nice little classroom.
Look at that.
Used to be a locker room.
Yeah, it is a school now.
This was the locker room.
See, they used to use this, it's a school now, and they could also, everything's different.
We're back upstairs in the sophomore dorm. This is the restroom. Same terrazzo floor, same stalls. It's amazing.
It's like a
And this used to be a dormitory in here. Now this is
Is this where we were last time?
there were some boys that stayed up here actually last time.
Wasn't
And it was a
big,
dormitory.
big room,
It was
a
a,
few beds and a few lockers?
that's right. Yep. That's all it was. It was an open room. It was a dormitory. This was a dormitory.
I thought it had a tower on it.
Right, we're coming out the back door here. And there's Mount Lacumbre. Right there. That's Mount Lacumbre, right? That one in the
The
middle.
highest hill,
I believe so. I believe it's
I'm
that
not
one
sure
right
which
in
one. I
front of
thought
us.
it was, had a tower on it, but.
It has some kind of a reflecting tower, reflecting television rays, or
This was the steps down from this dorm.
we seen it from when we came in. So inside, didn't we see it?
I thought we saw that.
Man, this place looks totally different than what it did when we were here.
It does.
That part of it.
The insides, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the, this was our infirmary and dispensary. Is
Yes.
that right?
Sacristy in there.
And this was the sacristy door. Walked the many steps. So many steps. And now we're going up, I think, into the freshman dorm.
The tower.
The tower or the barn, one of the two. Another dungeon. This is the door to the freshman study hall. It's in here. This freshman study hall, orientation room, and the like. Now this was the stairway up to the freshman dormitory. All the way up we would go. So we're going to take that climb right now. See if we can still do it. Okay, here's one of the landings. This is where we had art appreciation. It was in this room right here. That was Father's ham radio shack. We'll see some of the stairs looking down the stairs now. Oh. Okay, now this is the doorway to the freshman dorm called the barn. Still has that familiar smell. And over here was the restroom. Same exact thing. Same exact place. Amazing. Yep. Okay, we're going to go out. And over there was the locker room and the showers. These showers would often be cold water. Cold water. But they're still here, exactly the same. Look at that marble. I think it's real marble. Wow. Heading for the barn, as it was called. And it's locked from this side. But there it is, you can't really see much of anything in there anymore. But there it is, that's the barn. Now empty. And this was the gate to the tower. You could go up into the tower. And this is where we had another classroom. We can look out here and see that back of the chapel area. And that area, that's a shop and a living quarters for some of the brothers back there. This is the corridor along the chapel side. All the plaques are what's called verses, families that gave to the seminary. And turning the corner to the chapel. Oh, here we are, back in the study hall. And the school that has this now is actually doing a play. Which many times, as I mentioned before.
Now keep good watch! They kissed her and sure the dead man say, look me by moonlight, watch me by moonlight, or come to me by moonlight, tell me you are my wife. She twisted her hands behind her, but all the knots held good. Twisted her hands till her fingers were filled with sweat, blood. They stretched and they strained in moonlight. The hours went by like years, till then, at the stroke of midnight, cold as this room. Tip of one finger touched back on our best line of the daughter, and watched from the road in moonlight die in the darkness.
Now we're coming out the front door.
Shrieking a curse to the sky. Light rose slowly behind her, greater strength. Wine red their spurs on that golden noon. Blood red velvet cloak.
This is the stairway that led up to the classroom area from the study hall. Here we go into the classroom wing.
That's a fairly.
Here's the classroom hallway.
These are all
Is there a class going on? Or?
No, this, Lydia's just redecorating, getting things ready for school.
You're being filmed. One of the classrooms. Nowadays they have whiteboards.
It was funny, Mario and those guys, they'd get, yeah, we always wanted to graduate from the top of that old barn over to the first grade.
Oh,
First
yeah.
class had to be at the top.
One of these doors.
Big old barn.
That's the back door. That went up to the attic.
That's all started.
That's attic
So they
space.
keep the props for the play.
This is the attic above the stool, where we used to have like the ghost walk and stuff like that. Now it's used for storage and things. There it is, some of the old desks. And now we're back in that corridor, and this goes down to the senior dorm from this side. We saw it from the other side earlier. We weren't able to use this passage too much when I was here. But this was the senior dorm. Now you can see the computers, the nice desks.
This is one of our dorms, wasn't it?
This was the senior dorm.
Senior dorm.
You slept here?
I slept here. I did.
Here's one of the old desks that were in the study hall that some brothers made special for us. They're still being used in some ways. Used to keep our books and all in the side there. And here's the last vestige of the handball courts, where many a rollout was performed by the rollout team.
Come on, Michael. Whole bunch of old guys.
Make a little. I'm just trying to make a documentary while I'm here, because
You have
you know.
sound on that too?
Yeah, it's recording our sound right now. I like these little screens that you can see too.
Wow.
Then I can zoom in on them like this. See?
Wow.
Here's St. Francis. And we zoom back. Like that. Well, that's all right. Now we're just walking down the hallway by the study hall going up toward the chapel. There you go. Still lots of birds, huh? That you can hear. There we go. And today we're going to get to go in the chapel. It's actually open. There it is. There it is. And here's one of the, this is the first side altar. That's one of the mosaics of the stigmata Father Nevin did. Here's the second one of St. Anthony. Here's the main altar. With the Holy Spirit above Jesus. That's the root of Jesse. This is the loft where the priests and others would come and sit up from the cloistered area. This is parts of the rear dose. There's a mighty story to this whole rear dose, but I'm not sure of what it is. A lot of symbolism, a lot of meaning to it. And this at one time was a side altar, and this is now the altar of the Blessed Sacrament. And the metal piece above it is a replica of what's above the altar of St. Peter's in Rome. I'll turn around and see the congregation. And there is the choir loft and the big pipe organ that once did beautiful music. And the back door. We're going to go up into the choir loft. This is the choir loft with the organ. I know, but you can make light. It's this button there, and it lights it up. It's once made beautiful music. And here's the whole chapel. And the choir loft. See the beautiful ceiling too. Back to the rear dose in a minute. And it's Father, Son, and Holy Spirit at the top, which I didn't mention before. That's it right there. God the Father, God the Son, and God
and you saw a baseball game going on. And you could recognize who the people were. Be a little lower maybe, but you could see who's there, who's at first base, who's running. And you figure that the game would run maybe an hour and a half or something. And that hour and a half of light, of course, you would watch from the balloon, but it would keep going right up into space. And it keeps going, it's still out there, it must be, it's 35 light years out. It's gone past several stars, and of course the light of those stars really diluted it, pushed it around probably, but it still exists. So if you had some way of going out there, of course you don't, but let's suppose you could go out there and collect that light, condense it down, you could reconstruct the light from that event, and you could watch that baseball game again. Let us pray all those who are not able to come. The Lord may bless them with peace and love, and that they may be able to think back also on their time here and know the joy of happy memories. For them, let us pray for the Lord.
Begin. I just love the detail. I don't know if this was ever meant to be finished, you know, these panels where you can see the reinforced concrete, or just what the plan was, but
They have those hooks in them, looks like
if they plan to, oh yeah, but I didn't know if they planned to put stucco there at one time, or just what the deal was.
There's a lizard. Now Canadians stop and take note. The people from Arizona always
There's a lizard, yeah.
There's a lizard, you know.
We have them all over our backyard wall.
Anyway.
Yeah. Put on the wall.
And that's one, if you grab on the tail, he'll take off anyway.
They drop their tails as a self-defense measure.
This is the back side. Back side of the chapel. There's that wall in front. Walked down by that wall many, many times. Probably knew every brick, every stone. We saw the door of the swimming pool earlier. Here's the outside wall of the swimming pool. I'm gonna cheat and see if I can get inside. Yep, there it is. That was the pool. There's the dressing room. A lot of good times there, that's for sure. Okay, this is the third story wing where we had music rooms. Each of these little doorways along the way here was a music room. I know it's getting pretty dark out, but you can see some of it here. Each of these doorways. We would round this corner. The music room, I mean, like for practicing. And this was the music room here. And you can see music on the doors here. Probably locked. No, it's not locked. And now it has a pool table in it, looks like. But we had a tremendous collection of music in these things right here. Just record album after record album. And sure enough, there are some still down here. Amazing. We had music appreciation. And boy, did we appreciate it. Now it looks like a little bit of recreation here. And there's the piano that was in here from before as well. Wow. Okay, now we're classroom. And this was the hallway. From this area down to the classrooms. And where we saw a little bit ago where the classrooms were, that's what this hallway leads to right here. So you can get an idea of the height here. There's the field. And then from this area here is the tower, again in this inner courtyard with the statue down there in the tower. Then we would go through this door and into the classroom corridor. And that's where we were a little while ago. And then it turns either to the right or to the left. Right there. And then on the way back, here we see these were the Dean of Boys' office, the prefect's office in here. This was one priest's room. This is where they lived. And this was the other one's room. This, I believe, was Father Nevin's room at the time that I was here. This was another way to get up to the barn. So I'm going to try that again. Well, this is also locked up. But this was more of the barn. This is one of the ends. All empty now. Nothing. We finally made it in. This is one more entrance to the barn on the other side. So finally, here it is. We get to see it. All empty these days. There's the fire escape and the heater. This is where we had about 100 beds for 100 boys. Let's look at this place. My goodness. Haven't seen this for a long time even. Look at that. Wow. This is really amazing. Really amazing. There's the door we tried to get in earlier in the tape, and it was closed at that time. And here we had rows and rows of sinks in here. Cold water sinks was all we had. And again, high windows, and this is the other end where I was just at. And that kind of completes the tour of the seminary. But my, what memories, what amazing memories are here. To know when I was 13 years old, this is where I lived. This is where I slept. In this giant room. We're just going to end things by looking at the field from this high, high perch. Wish we could get in the tower, but as it looks right now, we cannot. So here's the parking lot. And the field from this window. Here it is. Thank you, Lord, for a great time. Yep.
Well, this is 11. He means on the dot.
Come on, Tex.
This is what, freshman study hall? Freshman study hall to the tower. right, the tower gate is open and we're going up. See, they welded these rods on here. We used to be able to twist one of these rods and it would loosen up and we could go up without anybody knowing.
Oh, is that right? No, or something.
Oh yeah, boys will be boys.
Just take it slow, you're doing fine. You're this far, you might as well finish.
I know, how far further?
It's a good climb. There's a couple of landings where you can stop if you want.
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna stop. Go ahead. No, I'm not going on.
Up and up we go. Okay. Here we go. We're going to take a rest at this landing. Well, here we go, pay dirt.
I hit my head on it.
Okay. Is it okay? Your head?
No, it's okay. He's getting worse.
There we go. Wow. So yeah, there's the reservoir.
65. Yeah, Juice 6 and
That's the mission.
Juice, yeah. It's second. And last Sunday, which Juice 6.
Arthur Morales to his wife up here. He said, I want to propose to her in the top. Okay, so I brought her up here and I left her with a few minutes. And she said no. It all came down easy.
Did you hear that? Last night he said that he proposed to her all the way up here.
This is the ladder up to the very top.
The guys that was here when they closed.
Yeah.
There's a party.
That's right.
Call St. Francis the second.
Yeah.
They say that you're a friend of yours. And they'll certainly leave you.
There's the city.
Tell them they have to fly up there.
You know what David Johnson was? There's the casa. That is 18,000 square feet.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Which is probably why nowadays they got the 2 million.
I thought it was 3.
Maybe was it 3?
That's what it
Might have been. There's a view of the Christ the King statue. They're rebuilding the road with the bulldozers. There's the Mesa family.
Who are you yelling at down there, Steve?
Art Mesa.
Tony, you're yelling Tony.
I don't know who the Tony is though.
Green, he kept looking, but he acted like he didn't know who anybody was up here.
This one?
The round one.
Oh, that one. The one I'm on now, I guess, is the cool. Okay. And there's the museum. Man, how that museum's grown. Look at that. That's a neat little house right there.
Yeah.
Race cars,
Great house.
Yeah.
It has 3 roofs.
Oh, man, yeah.
Because I know
That's
we were
a long
up there.
way. That is a long way.
Don't go overboard now.
Precursor to Father Ben. He was, we were talking with him yesterday, and we were talking about...
You know, I was to the top. And it's time to go down.
You're going faster, right? All the way, try, double time.
Unless someone's coming up, you
One
can't
of the
go down.
kids in class, freshman English, he said, well, Father, we didn't think it was any big deal. And he turns out he walks over there and he writes the word. And we were telling him the story because he didn't know the word deal. And he turns around, he's very studious in classes.
We'll end it right.
There are two meanings to the word.
I guess we'll do a little bit more. That's the dorm. That was the sophomore dorm in our day.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
And this dorm was freshman. Were you in that one as a freshman? The barn?
I've only seen the barn.
Oh.
I've just seen how huge it is.
It is open.
Wide open.
Yeah, it is open right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, we walked down there a little bit. That's the courtyard there. On the other side, you see the fire escape. A lot of tile roofs. Father Nevin's workshop now over there.
That's what that thing was on the map.
That's the reservoir.
It's a reservoir?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's the reservoir.
There's an old one by the mission.
Move, I need a picture. That's what I was going to do.
The mission, I guess.
I wish the clouds weren't out there. You could see the ocean.
Okay, a little bit more. There's the ocean. If you can see it, there's always looks like a haze in Santa Barbara now. Zoom in on the ocean area where the palm trees are. The ocean. I'm back again. One more shot of those basketball courts. The only ones that survived. On that side. We'll just pan around a little bit here.
Once you have it, let's say hundreds of pictures on a digital chip. Yeah. You can really use these on computers and web pages and emails and things like that. But you can print it off too. But you don't take it to the drugstore and have them print it. Well, they do. They have a thing in the drugstore. I've got discs in there. They'll have a thing right there. You can put your disc in and you can say, I want this piece right in. They'll print right out for you right now.
What?
Okay, no, now it's going.
Okay, now it's recording. Now it's recording. And then it's too dark and then that other side.
You going down? I did.
This is the view of Santa Barbara Mission from the air. Steve Rath is now floating about 400 feet in the air.
This is the hot air balloon experience here.
I think you don't have the bottom of the mission.
He's now going to land on the roof.
You know, the mission.
There we go. I don't know if it will be in focus or not, that's the only thing.
Yeah, take care of
Yeah,
themselves.
it looks like we're going to end with the tunnel. I guess that's pretty appropriate. That's that entrance we saw before.
Yeah, that's true.
These were all rooms where we would have uniforms for sports and stuff like that.
Hey, you never gave me anything. Not even
Some of the old laundry equipment.
Do you ever do like sweeper?
We used to have a lady down here that would iron all our clothes.
And they said that I'd say, raise my hand up, and I said, how about me? You know, I remember the classic.
Let's go see if we can see the laundry room
Oh,
now.
Dennis, he said,
These were old refectory
and they
tables.
put the makeup on you first, practice before they put it on you. Would that be wonderful? That sounds much
Here's the laundry room. machine still down here. That would lead up into the courtyard there. Yeah.
Kind of small for such a big place.
Same machine.
Interior,
And that's something.
the washings.
It's the same exact machines.
Gene Ford is like a butterfly. He speaks to this group, he speaks to that group. We try to follow him, and in 2 seconds he's gone.
Oh, Gene
And
Ford,
he's in
yes.
a long conversation with someone else.
It is. It's
Yeah,
funny.
it's hard to keep up with Gene Ford. It's like a butterfly.
This was the tunnel, though.
Remember we were afraid of the bats at night?
This was the laundry room here.
After
That's
dinner,
locked up.
you were afraid the bats
Oh,
might be
yeah.
on the attack.
And bats would fly through here too.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. Well, here's part of the laundry room here. These are some of the old laundry lockers. I remember those.
I don't remember the laundry. Was that where we get our laundry, according to our number?
According to our number, yeah.
This was mine, 62, but I don't remember.
Yeah. And the old laundry lockers. And then this here was the, come down here to the Jakes.
This is the Jakes, and this is where we get our haircuts.
And here, yeah, there was a barber shop down here too, that's right. Hi there.
We're going to lunch.
Okay, we're just
This
heading
all
to
the
see
sports
what's down
equipment
here.
is still here. All your sports equipment is still here.
Oh, look at this was the barber shop right here.
One day the clerk was giving me a haircut, and I said, you need to cut this side as much as the other side. And he said, oh, okay, just a moment. He said, so he bent over to cut the other side, but he put his knee right. He's a funny kid. You know what I mean? He was good humored all the time.
This is the main Jake here.
Oh, this came in handy the day of the poisoning.
Yeah.
You were here the night of the
I
poisoning?
hate to end the tape on the main Jake, so I better take something else here. Can we go up these stairs here to the outside?
Do you remember the night of the food poisoning?
Oh, yeah.
We all had some poisoning.
About
Yeah. Well,
We'd all went to the local bathroom, they were filled, and the regional
now we can
bathroom.
go up these stairs.
Oh, no. I think that was the first thing since I came here. You know.
Okay, we gotta end this somewhere. Let's end it on a note where we're not looking at Jake's. There we are, the front view. This is by the front of the study hall. That's a good shot right there. Take a picture of our tree right here. That's where we used to meet. Okay, I guess that's it for St. Anthony Seminary, the year 2000. Today is July 23rd of the year 2000. God bless us, everyone. And this is the famous road leading out or leading in, depending on which way you're going. And right down there is Garden and Pueblo Streets. Right down the old road there.
Later, Daisy.
Now I'm just using up tape. Using up the tape.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the front of refectory again. I'm using up the tape. Front of the school. There's Cecile. Right there. And there it is. Well, that's true, I guess, huh? Oh, I didn't know that.